Welcome back. This afternoon, Minnesotans are remembering a produce titan. Jerry Untiedt was the man behind the colorful farm stands across the metro and whose corn has fed the masses at the state fair for more than 2 decades. He died earlier this month at the age of 77. Now, those he worked with in his decades of farming in Minnesota are remembering him and his impact. Here's Ian Russell.
Amongst the corn,
things don't quit growing because it's Saturday and Sunday.
Grief is rooted deep.
Things don't quit growing because Jerry's not here.
Hard work grew these fields in Montrose. Harder emotions.
His heart finally just
now
decided it was it.
Yeah.
Jenna Untiedt, of her dad.
He got to work until the day he died, which is exactly what he wanted.
Decades ago, Jerry Untiedt and his wife Sue bought their first piece of land in Waverly.
His family and the community have always been at the center of it.
40 acres and a horse grew into a massive enterprise. Business led to friendship.
Last year was the biggest fair we've ever had, and he still kept us in corn.
Friendship led to family.
It's empty. Yeah, just an empty feeling.
For more than 20 years, corn grown in untied soil wound up at the state fair.
Corn, tomatoes, strawberries, whenever we can get them.
Even more produce found its way to grocery stores across the Twin Cities.
It's very difficult.
But that was never what Kowalski's Maxwell Mattis admired.
I have 4 young kids, and they had a very deep connection with him. And he's the kind of guy that you'd ask for the shirt off his back, and he'd give you his entire wardrobe.
A grief buried deep in Montrose soil.
You never think it's going to be time.
And a love for who started this all that won't stop.
And then all of a sudden the time comes, and it's like, that was way too short.
In Montrose, Ian Russell, KARE 11 News.
As we approach the 1-year mark since the attack on Annunciation Church in Minneapolis, there is a new tribute to victims and survivors in the works. An internationally renowned artist who happens to be a Minnesota native is painting a fresco on the walls of the church. Our Jessica Hart brings us a look.
Finding light in the darkness.
God bless you. Annunciation School
is something.
God bless you always.
Father Kevin Finnegan preaches.
And we'll always have this little symbol, you know, in 100 years and 500 years, people say, why the color of those ribbons? And so we'll be able to remember the story.
There's a lot of emotions about, you know, what this represents and why these ribbons are put here.
Renowned fresco artist Mark Balma brings light inside Our Lady of Grace Catholic Church, a place that acted as a shelter during a school's darkest day, where students Harper Moisky and Fletcher Merkel were killed.
The ribbons.
The day of the shooting was Dina Clapp's 3rd day as Annunciation's Dean of School Culture.
Keep the light going, because the opposite of hope is despair. So for this to be memorialized with the year that has taken place, is awe-inspiring and heart-filling.
I almost think of each one of them have a color. The vase almost becomes its own painting, you know, and its own focal point in the fresco.
A tribute to Annunciation.
The blue and the green, they're very hopeful colors.
Colors that will lighten over time, because frescoes don't darken since the pigments become part of the wall.
And I think that's why the church chose it as an ongoing light, you know, ongoing inspiration.
Even when times are dark, it's a reminder light will continue to shine. In Edina, Jessica Hart, KARE 11 News.
Next weekend, thousands of people will be here for the Twin Cities Tattoo Festival at the River Center in St. Paul. The annual event includes more than 300 tattoo artists, including one who just opened up her own studio. Heidi Wigdahl has more.
We all have to start somewhere. For the tattooer known as Jessica Canvas, her love of tattoos started at 9 years old.
There was a tattoo artist named Don Nolan. I saw his tattoo work on my uncle. It was like a helmet with like a sword going through it on his upper bicep, and I remember being like, dang, that is so cool. Like, I want to do that. And I remember my uncle being like, you can.
Jessie worked on drawing until she was old enough to look for an apprenticeship.
Showed them a portfolio, and a lot of places were like, absolutely not. You're way too young. This isn't for you.
But she landed an apprenticeship at 16 and was fully licensed by 21. She's now 35.
I love her art, and I've had her do full creativity on that, so she gets to do whatever she wants.
This is Madison Tisk's third tattoo in 3 years from Jesse.
I'm very excited about it.
My lady heads are definitely what people come to me for. I do an illustrative Neo Nouveau style, so I've been doing that for many, many years.
And after many years as a tattooer at other studios, Jessie wanted something more permanent. In May, she opened Golden Moth Tattoo and Piercing in Minneapolis.
It feels nice to finally have something I can call my own.
And it all started with one tattoo.
There's nothing else I want to do in life than tattoo. I get to tattoo is so interesting. The people I get to meet are so cool. And I think that just keeps you coming back to want to tattoo.
In Minneapolis, Heidi Wigdahl, KARE 11 News.
You can find Golden Moth Tattoo and Piercing in the St. Anthony Main building, just a couple doors down from Astor Cafe. Jesse will also be at Tattoo Fest. Again, the Twin Cities Tattoo Festival runs from the 24th to the 26th at the St. Paul River Center. You can go to KARE11.com and find out all the details about the hours. Tickets are available at the door. It's $30 for a day pass and $65 for a full weekend pass. Remember, admission is cash only. Stick with us. We got more news and weather coming up after the break.